What's up, everybody? So in today's video, we're going to go over 5 ways a car dealership can make money off you when you're buying your next car. Now, you might be asking, what the heck do I know? The last 3 years of my life, I worked full-time at a car dealership. I was the inventory and marketing manager. I was the person buying all the cars. I'm the one budgeting to make sure I can get the car, recondition it to a really good, high-quality car, and still have several $1,000s worth of markup, listing it at a really good market value, reasonable price. So I did this every single day. Whenever my finance manager would sell a car, a lot of times he would come to me and he and I would go over pricing to make sure we were getting the best for our car and making the smartest decision. So I made a lot of these decisions at the dealership and I saw this stuff every single day. I also learned how the financing works, how the back end of the dealership works, because sometimes you could sell a car making zero on the actual car, but make a $3,000 deal out of it. Number one on the list, that's the simple one, which is your markup. If I buy a car for $20,000 and list it for $24,000, that's $4,000. So if I sell it for 24, that's $4,000 that I just made having that car. That's the simplest way to put it. That's the simplest way to make money on the car. Buy low, sell high. It's the same old story. So with that said, the 4 other reasons, those are the back end things, because I just said that we could sell a car and make nothing on the car, but actually make a couple grand. So how does that happen? So number 2 on the list, that is financing. When you finance a car, there's a really high likelihood that the dealership is actually holding percentage points. Now what that means, if you get an interest rate on a car, let's say they come back with 7% interest on your loan for whatever car you're looking to buy, there is a good chance your real interest rate is 5% and they're holding 2 points. So that means 2% of the interest paid, that amount the finance company is actually paying the dealership. So as the dealer, you got a deal coming in. Let's say I'm selling a $30,000 car. They're financing $30,000 of that. Let's say that's how much money I had on the car. I have no markup in this, no room whatsoever. The car's been here forever with no interest. Having that amount financed, I'd want to hold points on it. Now again, I wasn't the finance person, so I wasn't doing this, and our dealership actually really couldn't do this. But a lot of dealerships will jack up that rate a little bit to make back end on that car. So they're making maybe another $1,000 on that car. So all of a sudden a loser deal turned into a $1,000 deal. Now, things to avoid with that, like our dealer, we used a lot of credit unions. With that, we were not allowed to do that. So for us, any interest rate that we were telling people, that was from the bank. Now for us, the bank would actually give us a little bit. It didn't come out of the sale price. It wasn't anything associated with the customer, so it wasn't the customer technically paying us. It was the bank saying, hey, thank you for a $20,000 deal. You know, we'll pay you $500 for bringing us that kind of deal. So for us, it worked out well, and if you are dealing with any type of credit unions, that is a better way to go. A lot of the bigger banks, they let dealers hold points, and they might also give them a kickback or some sort. But I would recommend, if you're financing a car, ask the dealer straight up, hey, are you guys holding points on the interest for this loan? And see what they say. Most likely they're always going to tell you no. Of course, we're not allowed to do that. But see what bank it is. Is it a credit union or not? If it's not a credit union, maybe even call the bank just to make sure, because last thing you want to do is waste more money when you don't have to. So that's something you got to watch out for with financing. Work with a credit union if you can, and always ask if they're holding points. For number 3 on the list, that is warranties. Now, when you buy a used car in the state of North Carolina, it is always considered an as-is vehicle. That means from the dealership, there's no warranty on the car from the actual dealership. So when I bought this car, this is a used 2014 Nissan GTR. Buying it from the Nissan dealer, this was as is. However, there was still manufacturer's warranty left on my car for powertrain for about a year. So I knew that when buying this, if there was any problem with it, I couldn't go to the Nissan dealer I bought it from saying, hey, what happened to my car? It's under warranty, you guys owe me. Had nothing to do with that. If something was mechanically wrong, I could just take it to a Nissan dealer, and since the manufacturer's warranty still applied, if it was covered, it would get covered. But with that, when you buy a used car, you can get an extended warranty through the dealership. Technically, that's going to be called a service contract. It's the same thing. You're basically buying a third-party warranty to be covered on your car. But one thing to watch out for, if you are going to add any type of extended warranty on your car from these third-party places, there's a good chance the dealership is going to mark up that warranty. Now, a lot of times they're really not too expensive. If you're buying like a $30,000 car, just something kind of normal, for maybe $2,000, you can probably get a 100,000 mile powertrain warranty. Let's just say it's a Toyota Camry, nothing crazy. Any warranty company would put something on that because they know it's probably not going to break down. But if it's $2,000 is what they're telling you it's costing, it's probably costing them about $1,000. So they're going to mark up that warranty and make back end on that product. If they're selling you a warranty, they're technically getting it from the warranty company for $1,000. They're going to give it to you for $2,000, make $1,000 there. So if we take the warranty and the financing all of a sudden that $0 deal, $500 from financing, $1,000 warranty upcharge, they just made $1,500 on that deal. So when you are, looking to buy a used car, and if you are interested in any type of extended warranties, just know they're probably going to mark up that warranty, so there is negotiation. A lot of people think if a dealer says, that, hey, this bumper to bumper warranty is $2,500 for your car, they think that's how much it is. Say, I'll add that warranty, but only do it for $2,000, and see what they say, because if it's a deal they really want to sell, maybe they mark that up $1,500. They might meet you in the middle and maybe make that warranty a little bit cheaper. So definitely use that to your advantage, because everything is negotiable. I know you hear that a lot, and not enough people understand that. When you're buying a car, every little aspect is negotiable. They can mark up a lot of things. Not saying every dealer is going to mark it up $2,000. Sometimes we could get a warranty at like $500 cost. That's a pretty cheap warranty. We might mark it up $200 just to make a little bit. So it's not like everyone's going to have a $1,000 markup. But just keep that in mind, negotiate a little bit, and see what you can do. For number 4 on the list, that is of course servicing your car. A lot of big car dealerships, particularly brand new car dealerships, they have a huge service center, and they make a lot of money off servicing. They have labor they're charging. A lot of times it's like 75 to 100 something bucks an hour for servicing. Getting my car aligned at Nissan, that was a $300 bill. Honestly, I should have just taken it to a normal shop and done it for like $80, but that's a $300 profit right there. It only took a few hours. They did not pay that tech $300 to do that, so they made quite a lot of money off that. Oil changes, I always do my oil changes myself. It's very easy on most cars, but a lot of times dealerships make their money in the service department versus the sales department. They want to sell the cars to make the manufacturer happy, get them out and get them out. But when the people bring those cars back for servicing, their tire rotations, their oil changes, all the little things, that's where they can make some serious money. Maybe you came in for that free oil change you got when you bought your brand new car, and all of a sudden they say, hey, you got some tire damage, we need to do an alignment on your car, it's wearing unevenly, why don't we go ahead and do that? And they might say it's only $50, and you might say, hey, let's go ahead and get that done. It's a new car, I want to keep it perfect. They might have just swindled you out of $50. So keep in mind with that kind of stuff, but it's always worth taking the little extra time to research whatever problem they may or may not have found to see if it is actually something you should do. So then to wrap it up, the 5th thing a dealership can make money on is the dealer installed products. Now, when my brother bought his brand new Tacoma at the Toyota dealer, we looked at the window sticker of his truck, and we looked at dealer installed options. There was floor mats, there was window tint, there were a few other little things. But the costs that they charge you are ridiculous. They charged $400 for a window tint, and it was just the front 2 windows on a Tacoma. For those of you who have had your windows tinted, front windows is maybe $50 to $80 at any tint shop. It's a very quick job, it's a very inexpensive job, and yet Toyota was marking that as a $400 option. A lot of new car dealers will get all their vehicles tinted and literally put that on the window sticker as like a $600 option. On top of that, the floor mats, I think they put them up there for like $250 or something like that. Looking back on it, I wish we had told the dealer and said, hey, let's peel that window tint off and take that $400 off as well. They wouldn't have done that, I'm sure, but looking back, we should have said something. My dad did do that a few years earlier. He bought his 2016 Toyota 4Runner brand spanking new. That on the window sticker had floor mats. It said dealer installed floor mats, like $300. It was just the carpeted ones for the front and the second row. He told them, take those floor mats out and take that price off. They did that. He bought the car. On Amazon that night, he ordered Toyota genuine OEM all-weather floor mats for all 3 sections, including the rear, for like $100. So he saved a little bit of money there and got a better product out of it. So if there are any dealer installed options, be wary about them. Try to negotiate. If it's something simple like floor mats and they're charging you a ridiculous amount, just tell them, take them out, you don't want them, and you can buy them cheaper somewhere else. So there's a lot of things that go into making money at a car dealership. Be wary of it all. It's not all negative, like you should be horrified if a dealer wants to make money. That is the goal. You're in business to make money, and there's nothing wrong with that. We want to make money so you can do more things, you can buy more cars, have more inventory, have more room to do better things. That's part of life. But with that, as the consumer, when you're going to buy a car, be cautious of the stuff. If the dealer has all these add-ons, is it really worth it? And then looking back, the financing, the warranty stuff, there's a lot of ways to make money. So hopefully you guys found this video pretty helpful. Next time you go in to buy a new or used car, use this stuff to your advantage to get a really good deal. Ask to see the breakdown when you're buying it. What do the numbers look like? Is the warranty something they are marking up a lot? Are they making back end on the financing through marking up the actual interest rate, or are they just getting back end from the credit union or something like that? Be cautious of the stuff. That way you can save money, buy your next car the most cost-effective way possible. The dealership, they're not going to give it to you for free and lose too much money on it most of the time. They're going to try to make as much money off it as possible. One way you can use this to your advantage, let's say they actually do have a car where they're not making any money off of it. If you offer them, hey, if I finance with you, will you help me out on price of this car? If they say yes, that means they're going to make money off financing. Use that to your advantage. If you say, hey, I'm looking at an extended warranty no matter what, if I get a warranty through you guys, will you help me out on price? If they say yes, once again, that means they can make money on that warranty. So use it to your advantage, and hopefully your next car buying experience can be pretty smart. But that's everything I wanted to say today. Hopefully you guys found it pretty informative and helpful for your next car purchase. Buying cars is a lot of fun. It's always good to get a really good deal. If you know really what you're looking for, knowing the smartest ways to use the money to buy the car, it's going to be a quick and easy process, and you're going to get the car you want for the best price. So that is it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Give it a huge thumbs up. Smash that subscribe button. We have Bros Pursuit merchandise available. It helps us out tremendously. Have a lot of very cool designs. The 370Z, the GTR, the R8, and the Tacoma, and our logo as well. So check them out. So that is it, guys. I'll see you next video.